Tabletop role-playing news. We aim to amuse and we aim to enthuse. And Morrus's unofficial tabletop RPG.
Hello, and welcome to Morrus's unofficial tabletop RPG talk. I am Russ, aka Morrus, or Morrus, aka Russ. And with me this week is...
BJ Coffey from the Southampton Guild of Role Players, also from Homebrew and Hacking TTRPG Design. As ever, after my long break, I am delighted to be here. Joining us also, wearing what looks to me like a Peter Pan collar, though I could be wrong. It's someone whose complexion is not so much offset, has matched by the pure white shirt that they're wearing. It's the one, it's the only, it's
me, Jessica from EM Publishing. And my intent was to say I'm so excited because my hype person for the week is back, but instead you just mocked me. I guess, yeah, it's not a Peter Pan collar, but it's just a shirt with a sweater vest underneath because it's now sweater weather over here.
To be fair, that was a better hype than my attempt to fill in for Peter last week and hype you up. And like the best I could come up with was you look quite shiny.
Yes, that's true. I did look really shiny last week, though. Something about my lighting, I looked like I had a plastic sheen on me. And whilst I am effervescent and glowing with my skincare, shiny was not the thing I was going for generally. Yeah.
I was going with something like Anne here with us, her inner radiance made outer by the powers of electromancy, something like that, because that's just how I roll. But yeah,
it's alchemy.
Very shiny is maybe
pure alchemy.
Maybe it's alchemy.
Had a skincare routine since I've been 14.
Alchemy.
And got given anti-wrinkle cream for my 20th birthday by my mother. So,
I've had skin since I was 14, but prior to 14, I had no skin. It was unfortunate.
Anyway, welcome back, PJ. This is what you've been missing.
Hello. So you had scales prior, is what you're saying? Interesting.
Sure.
Russ
Why not?
Russ is lizard folk, so
yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just curious. Just asking questions.
Hey, so do you remember at UK Games Expo, Bonhomie Games? I always forget, is it Bonhomie or Bonhomie? Bonhomie Games?
Yeah, why not?
Gave me a lovely cloth map made by Free League for their One Ring role-playing game. And the map was of Moria, the Mines of Moria, where Gandalf said, "You shall not pass." And then the Balrog, in fact, did not pass.
That's true. That is what came to pass.
Accurate. Yeah.
And they say Gandalf doesn't do magic.
Who says that?
People who are wrong, but there you go. They're like, flaming pound cones don't count. It's like, they don't.
Anyway. So that's not the only cloth map that 3D does. They do them quite often for their games, and I've got 3 of the Middle-earth ones now. So I've got that Moria one, which Bonhomie Games very kindly gave to me. And I've got the Eriador one, which is kind of the larger top left area of the big Middle-earth map, if you can visualise the whole.
Yeah.
And I've got one of the Shire as well.
Right. So when are you going to run your One Ring campaign, Russ?
I am thinking about running one. I am considering it. It does mean learning how the One Ring works, but I am considering it because I do love Lord of the Rings.
Oh, you could just knock it out in A5E. I'm sure that would work fine.
I am considering running the Moria campaign.
Yeah. I'd love to play it.
Well, if I do run it, it will probably be on Wednesday nights at your game club. So, if
that's a good place to do it.
It's a big if. I don't know if I will. Anyway, talking about these cloth maps, I have these 3 of them. So I decided to trot off down to a local picture gallery place and have them framed because they do lovely frames.
Professionally framed.
Professionally. It looks really, really nice. And now my upstairs hallway is adorned with the landscapes of Middle-earth in delightful frames. So I thought I'd show you. Some of Free League's finest cartography in place, in the wild. So this one, well, those are 2. So that is the Shire and Eriador. The Shire on the left and Eriador on the right. which I think look pretty cool there.
For the
But
podcast
then
listeners, they're big A2 maps sort of size.
Yeah, framed. Yeah. And people know basically what a Lord of the Rings map looks like. So this one here is Eriador, the whole area, which I think looks absolutely gorgeous. This one is the Shire. You can see it's divided into the North Farthing, the South Farthing, the East Farthing, and the spark of originality, the West Farthing.
Oh, not Humberside and Hull. Fair enough.
And then finally, we have Moria itself, which is my favourite. That's a gorgeous.
That is a big
I believe
boy.
you have that map also, don't you, Peter?
Yes, I do. I can even see it, although it's still folded up. But yeah, it's a good map. For listeners at home, it shows a sort of a sideways view of Moria going into the mountain, and also a top-down view, both of which are pretty good.
Yes, yeah, it's absolutely lovely, and it does make me very much want to run that campaign. Which is
speaking of
giant dungeon crawl.
I mean, I've never actually played it, dungeon crawl, so that's sort of what interests me. Speaking of dungeon crawls, the Delian Tomb, Draw Steel, which I'm looking to run.
Are we going with
it's just
Delian? Is that the pronunciation we're going with?
Dandelion.
Sure.
The Dandelion Tomb. There we go. It's official. We've renamed it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Okay. Suck it, Golvor. We've changed the name of your Extreme Warner Adventure. It's now the Dandelion Tomb because we don't know how to pronounce things and we're too lazy to look it up. There we go. But it did say, and this is like a really weird reason to get hung up on something. It said I needed 72 different goblin miniatures. Like, I do not possess 72. I don't think I have 70. I don't think it says 72 different, but 72 goblin miniatures. I'm like, I don't think I possess 72 goblin miniatures.
I might be able to add some to that horde.
I mean, we've got the Hero Quest, obviously. That's good. I got the Kells Keep expansion. I got a Bones Kickstarter. But like 72 is a lot of little minis.
That is a lot of miniatures. What, just for like one encounter?
I hope not, because that would take a hell of a long time to run.
Well, you wouldn't think it's 72 if they're in different encounters, would you?
Well, it said. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Reuse is better than recycling, and I could like just reuse. Like, I should find out the maximum number of goblins that I'm likely to have, and then I've probably got like I could probably do 20 or 30 pretty easily. That I'm confident of, but 72, it's a lot.
72 in one encounter. That's no longer a tabletop role playing game. It's not even a skirmish game at that point. It's a war game.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Actually, I have been thinking about how to do mass combat because there's a lot of people that keep on trying to do it for 5th edition, and I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, but I want to be playing 5th edition. I don't want to be playing your homebrew war game. Like, because if I want to play a war game, there are war games I can play, which I would probably enjoy because they're war games. But I want to have something that captures the feel of 5th edition and the excitement of it, but also will be able to handle it. And that's a really interesting design.
Matt Colville's one, Strongholds and Followers, I think is.
I have, yes.
Has it got war game mass combat rules in it?
I did not find it to my taste. I mean, I'm sure there are people who found it very much to their taste, and fair play to them. Not to my particular one. It just didn't really scratch the itch that I wanted it to. Whereas I'm thinking, if we lean back into Lord of the Rings, which you got me thinking about already, then a lot of Lord of the Rings isn't about wiping out the enemies. It's about the enemies run away and you've won the battle because they've done that.
Right.
Like, if you think about it, it's like, and Aragorn didn't slay the last orc on the battlefield. It's like, and the orcs ran off, and Aragorn's like, yeah, you better run. And also, like,
at any point in Lord of the Rings did Aragorn say, yeah, you better run?
In Elvish, maybe.
yeah. I don't know the Cornwall for, yeah, you better run. But I'm pretty sure he would mutter that, at least under his breath.
Probably.
And also like Helm's Deep, like Saruman's Uruk turn up, have a dreadful time of it, have sheer weight of numbers, and then it's like, and that was turns up and says, "Hi, wizard here," and they're like, "Ah, it's slow wizard run," and then they all run
To
away
be
and
fair,
get eaten by a
Gandalf was
forest.
coming down a very steep hill.
Now, that is in the films. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I have also been reading a collection of unmitigated pedantry by a chap called Brett Devereaux, who just writes some really interesting stuff. So that's been very formative on my thinking. Yeah, morale.
Well, you probably had quite a bit of reading time on the plane, didn't you? In your jet-setting ways. Many
like 40,
hours.
14 hours one way. Yeah, it was fine.
The thought of 14 hours on a plane. No.
I do that. In my top 3 worst plane journeys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, one of my worst plane journeys was I was ill and there was a kid kicking my seat in the back constantly on the way from Auckland to Los Angeles and then on to Vancouver. And then we got held up at customs because I mistook pounds and dollars and gave a number that was far too small. Even though I had plenty of... It was about money. And and it was like constant turbulence the whole flight. So I was also being jolted around as well as kicked in the back constantly. Oh, yeah. It's one of those things. And the other worst one I had...
You don't like being kicked in the back?
Do not like. Being stood... Having people stand on my back in a sort of therapeutic sense is actually quite nice, but being kicked in the back, not my thing.
Doesn't sound like
my other worst plane journey was going from middle of America via American Airlines across the Atlantic back to the UK. No TV, like no screen to watch stuff on, nothing.
I have that.
Yeah, it's like American Airlines, never again. Well, based on that experience.
Anyway, we are nearly 15 minutes into the show when we haven't actually done any tabletop role-playing game news yet.
People don't listen to this for tabletop news. They can't possibly. We're too inefficient for that.
I'm sure at least somebody does.
Maybe at least 2.
We get good news on this. Occasionally, we have the odd exclusive thing that's talking about it. But yeah.
All right. Shall we jump into our first bit of news there?
Tell me, Russ. What happened this week?
So,
hello.
Do you remember this Dragon's Milk drink? This beer D&D partnership?
Stout of something, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Earlier this year, I think it was. I can't remember when it was. Was it last year?
Sure.
Something like that.
Sometime within the past 24 months.
Well, anyway, they're doing another thing. We're doing another thing. They are doing a D20 dice tower set.
Oh,
which is not necessarily what you would ordinarily associate with beer, but this is the new beer they've come up with.
Now, as I say, this looks a lot more like a stout to me. It's got that classic Guinness-esque black body and like solid white head.
Well, this is called D20 Brew.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And alongside with this D20 Brew are a mead cask bourbon gift set.
Oh, yes.
Mead cask bourbon gift set. Yes, there's a lot of words. But also, there's this dice tower that comes with it.
Oh, okay.
A D20 Brew dice power with a D&D logo on it. Official partnership between New Holland Brewing and Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, this could overtake Crown Royale as the official unofficial TTRPG must-have collector's items, because there's some sort of alcoholic drink called Crown Royale, which I believe is some sort of lager that they sell in the US, and its main selling point is it comes like an attractive little bag, which is perfect size for putting your dice in. So there you go. I don't actually know what it looks like, but I read things online, and there we go.
So, am I right in thinking that dice tower is the packaging for the beer? That's like the fancy gift box it comes in.
That would be amazing. I don't think it is.
Yes. Well, it's I've only got words here. So D20 dice tower set, which they describe as a collectible package that includes a bottle of D20 brew and a dice tower and special edition dice.
Because the shape of the tower almost looks a bit like if you got a fancy bottle of whiskey or
I can imagine that bottle would fit in that tower,
Yeah.
I guess the problem is with dice towers, the internal things, they've got like a series of slopes inside to help randomize dice. But with the correct thing, you could probably just like lift it up. So you'd like have like little cardboard flaps or plastic flaps that you lift up to slot into place. Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not. I don't know a lot about dice towers, and it looks like it's also got like Did you see it's got a courtyard, a drawbridge almost effect.
A dice tray,
yeah, for the dice tray to come out.
Yeah.
I imagine that folds into that on top.
Yeah,
but
it looks like it folds
that'd be
up
nice.
over. Yeah.
that's a fun collaboration. It's a good time of year to bring it out because it's a good. I think it's one of those holiday gifts for people that are like, I know this person likes beer and Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know much about either, but here, this gift gives both your interests at the office, Secret Santa party or whatever.
Well, that is coming out in November.
Nice.
So November the 8th, nationwide. I assume by nationwide they mean America nation.
Continental US.
I realised there are like 300 nations. They're not specific, but generally, I'm guessing they mean American. Well, they might mean Venezuela. I don't know. They're not specific.
Across
However,
Venezuela.
Nationwide. Yeah. So D20 going on sale November the 8th across Venezuela, and the D20 Dice Tower set is going online on November the 17th.
But how much does it cost?
I don't know. I don't know.
But I mean, it might make a difference. Like if it's 50 quid, it's probably not going to be a good stocking filler or Secret Santa gift. No. But still, I look forward to seeing a video of it opening.
Time for Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah. Get some stout of some description. Although the mead flavoured bourbon does sound interesting. I think bourbon flavoured mead would probably be more my ticket because I do like things a bit sweeter. Yeah, but you drink lager, so yeah.
I drink lager and I drink vodka, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
And the only reason I drink vodka is because it's the only spirit that doesn't have a taste.
Whiskey
you can't stand.
You actively avoid the taste of drinks
spirits.
And or
spirits.
Yeah.
I don't know, other drinks, nice hot chocolate. I'm quite happy for it to taste strongly of chocolate, but when it comes to spirits, like
with whiskey, you just have to put sufficient water in. Although for me, that's like a lot of water. But once you do, then I'm like, oh, okay. It doesn't taste of burning. It actually is quite pleasant.
It doesn't taste of burning.
What? That's what whiskey tastes of to me. Burning.
Fire water.
I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the last 2 weeks, Peter, while you've been away, the last 2 weeks, we've had great fun covering a series of articles by Echo Hawk on EN World, where he has delved in to all of the products that have been made for D&D and provided us with tons of graphs and figures and numbers, and we've discovered which edition had the most products made for it, which setting, which D&D campaign world had the most products made for it. All this fun stuff.
You always save the good stuff for when I go away. And like for those of you who've just tuned in and are completely into the podcast, that is not sarcasm. Anyway.
Yeah, we intentionally did it when you were going away.
This does sound like a good time to me. But
we control when the news goes out. When things
we can do a little recap. Edition. Right, very very quick. Editions. Which edition do you think? Which D&D edition has the most, or had the most, official, so produced by TSR or Wizards of the Coast, not third party, products made for it?
Probably second edition.
Correct.
They sold like a lot of stuff.
Yeah. By a long shot. Yeah. And then setting,
especially all the books as well. Yeah.
We haven't even covered. That's next week. This week is going to be magazines. Next week is going to be novels.
Okay.
But the last week we did D&D Worlds, and I think you can probably guess which is the D&D world which has the most number of official RPG products associated with it.
Well, as long as I don't have to remember it, I'll be fine.
Exactly. It is in fact the Forgotten Realms. Yeah. And that was by a long shot as well.
A country mile, one could say.
Yeah. So we covered those over the last 2 weeks. And our YouTube videos on those, where I took those topics out and put them on separately, have done really well. Thousands of views. People seem to like these a lot.
I'll have to go look them up. I have not been in a place with good internet access.
Fair enough. You can catch up.
Well, not for YouTube anyway.
Anyway, this week's magazines. We're going to talk about magazines this week.
Yes.
So, there have probably been more official D&D magazines than you think.
There definitely are, because that picture is already more than I thought.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'd heard of the Dragon magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and that looks like that's on there. Polyhedron, I didn't realise was a D&D magazine.
Mm.
Dungeons and Dragons, I suppose I should have expected. Is that a dungeon magazine as well?
Dungeon magazine, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through them. So, so what we've got on there, we have got the Strategic Review in the top left there, which was the
TSR.
very first magazine they made by TSR. There was only 7 issues, 75 to 76.
Wow.
1975 to 76, just to clarify.
Okay.
Kind of a precursor to Dragon. Yeah, you can see how it looked more like a newsletter than a magazine.
Yeah, I mean, that's virtually predating you, Russ. That's like, hello.
It actually is predating me, yes. And then we have Dragon magazine, originally called The Dragon, which launched in 1976, ran for 30 odd years.
Yeah.
And that on that picture there, you can see the very first edition of that. It definitely changed over the years, and I got a graphic later on just showing how it changed in sort of like layout and design style over the years, which is kind of fun to look at. So what else do we have? We also have Polyhedron magazine, which was originally called the RPGA News, and then it got changed to Polyhedron, and RPGA was a role-playing game association, and it was kind of the precursor to Adventurers League. It was organised, early organised play.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that one
It just builds up a shared culture, which is very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that had 148 issues, went from 1981 to 2001. So that went out for a long time. Originally, it only went out to members of the RPGA, but it did become more commonly available after that. Then we have Imagine Adventure Game magazine, which was made by TSR UK.
Okay.
Because TSR had a UK branch. Which, I remember phoning up once when we were about 20 and we had a rules question about a lion and it's some kind of multi... I can't remember what the question was exactly. It was something to do with multi-attacks or something. And we actually phoned up TSR UK to ask them a rules question, and someone, a nice lady, answered the phone and said, "Oh, can I get someone to call you back with that?" And I went, "Yeah, sure, here's my number," thinking, "Oh, we'll never hear anything." We just carried on playing. 20 minutes later, the phone rings.
Yeah.
I pick up the phone, and it was this chap, and I wish I knew who it was. This chap from TSR calling to answer our rules question, and chat with us for about 5-10 minutes, explaining the rules that we were asking about. And it's like, that is customer service.
Yeah. We should start doing that. We start doing that EM publishing, shall we?
Yeah, we'll give them your phone number then.
Yeah, I'll put your phone number on the website, and then people can just text you or call you whenever.
That's hilarious. Like, if you've got any rules questions, then asking you to. Yeah, great.
Anyway, Imagine Adventure Game magazine, TSR UK, 30 issues, 1983 to 1985, so only for a couple of years.
That's still good effort.
Competing with White Dwarf at the time, and it kind of couldn't. And that's kind of why it went away. White Dwarf won that little battle because White Dwarf was the big UK magazine.
Yeah, I can see why Imagine a Dragon might not have done so well. Yeah.
Imagine Dragons have done very well since they've formed a band and everything.
That's in the US, So,
anyway, next we have
interrupted.
Dungeon magazine. Originally called Dungeon Adventures for TSR role-playing games, then called Dungeon Adventures, and then eventually just called Dungeon.
Right.
That launched in 1986, and basically each issue it was adventures. Each issue would come out with like sort of 4 or 5 adventures in there.
Yeah.
And that was literally it. Each month you get 4 or 5 adventures.
Yeah. I imagine
magazine.
it had
It was a fantastic magazine.
Got a lot of one-off sales from some very confused people.
Well, that went on for years. So let's have a look. That's 150 issues. Yeah, 150 months. So that was
That's
from
pretty
86
good.
to 2007.
Wow.
That went on for years, and that was a brilliant magazine.
Yeah.
Legends of the Lance.
Oh,
Had 5 issues.
a Dragonlance one.
1998 to 1999. And this was a passion project led by Sue Cook, who was managing the Dragonlance team at the time. And it's kind of interviews, previews, a bit of game material, very, very specifically Dragonlance oriented. But it's only 5 issues of it. I don't know if you could even get hold of them now. If you can maybe get them on eBay or something, I don't know.
Yeah. That's so wild because, like, 1988 to 1999, I'd have been interested. Yeah, I'd have wanted to know about it.
Do you know what I never came across it, and I was very much into Dragonlance at that time. It's not something that crossed the Atlantic clearly, and it wasn't widely known, I don't think.
I was into Dragonlance despite not knowing anything about role-playing games. In fact, I think there was a bit of a crossover period where I really liked Dragonlance, I really liked role-playing games. I did not realise that they were in any way connected.
You could
the power of marketing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it didn't actually say anywhere.
Yeah, and I suppose this would be pre-internet, so it's not like, these days your hobby, you just like pick up your phone, you just type in the name of your hobby into Google, and instantly you would know that it was a role-playing game and a series of novels.
It just shows you Critical Role and says, there you go. That's what role-playing games are.
Yeah. Anyway, next one. Polyhedron UK.
Okay.
1998. Only 8 issues. Didn't last for long at all. There was the 8 issues covered different kind of regions and continents. So Polyhedron UK was the official RPGA Europe magazine, and that was number 1. Then number 2, it was Polyhedron UK, the official RPGA UK magazine. Issues 3 to 5, it became Polyhedron, the official RPGA magazine for UK, Ireland, and South Africa. Interesting combination. Number 6 to 7, it became Polyhedron, official RPGA magazine for Europe, Australia, and Africa.
That makes a little bit more sense because that feels,
And then finally, number 8, Polyhedron, and this is the final issue, official RPGA magazine for Europe, Asia, Pacific, and Africa.
Okay. So what years was that? What years was it out?
That would have been 1998 to 2000, and there were 8 issues over those 2 years.
Okay.
So it wasn't a monthly one, clearly. It was
past the end of apartheid. So, sorry, it's just like when you advertise as being advertising directly for South Africa, questions to arise for me. But yeah, there we go.
I've got no idea what the reasoning behind all that was at all.
I don't think they did either. There we go.
Next one, Living Greyhawk Journal.
I'm guessing that has something to do with the Greyhawk setting.
Correct.
Using my natural 20
the Living Greyhawk Journal is the
investigation.
official Forgotten Realms magazine, of course.
Yeah, naturally.
Just like the Legends of the Lance is the official Al-Qadim magazine.
Yeah. Oh, Al-Qadim. Oh, there's a setting that I'd love to know more about, but do not want to know anything about because it would only horribly disappoint me.
Probably.
Definitely.
Anyway, Living Greyhawk Journal, only 6 issues. The first issue was given away for free with Dragon issue number 274.
Nice.
And then the next 5 issues were mailed to RPGA members.
Okay.
And then that was it. 6 issues. And then after that, they folded it into Dragon magazine. And later moved it into Dungeon, so it became a section of those magazines.
Difficult to get enough material out of the 4. Like, it's all got to be written and paid for, and I think that's part of the problem they had, didn't it? Like, they just did not have enough focus, and they didn't have a big enough audience to create that sort of thing.
What, for different settings? Well, certainly during the 2E era, when they were basically competing with themselves with how many different settings did we work out it was last week, Jess?
Oh, it's like
50
14
million.
50 million settings, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like at least 14 that I'm aware of.
Way more than that. I think, depending on how you count them, we discovered that because sometimes settings are a subsetting of another. And is that still the Forgotten Realms, or is that a separate setting, for example? It was between something like 28 and 44 or something like that.
Wow.
If you look on Wikipedia, it says something.
That's a lot of product line. A lot of product line support, And I just didn't have the audience at the time, I guess. Yeah,
well, especially when you're, splitting it, because nobody's going to buy all of them.
Yeah.
Like, because if you look at the cost of buying all of them, you'd need thousands of dollars to keep up with everything, and nobody, the average teenager could not afford to buy everything that TSR was putting out. Anyway, finally, there was a couple of digital ones, Dungeons and Dragons Insider and Dragon Plus, which we're not going to cover here. We're only covering the print stuff. And then there's Dungeons and Dragons Adventurer there, which is a UK publication. Which launched in late 2022.
Wow. Okay.
There's 80 issues of it.
Yeah.
And each one of them comes with an accessory.
Oh.
And so that might be dice, or it might be a binder, or a DM screen, or some maps, or some battle maps, or notebooks, or figurines, or tokens, things like that. General. So it was expensive, because essentially it was a accessory subscription service with an attached magazine, really, in a sense.
2022.
That's expensive. $8.99 per issue.
Yeah. Did we even cover that? Because that feels like
we covered its launch. Yeah, we mentioned its launch a couple of years ago in 2022.
Okay.
We did, but we haven't mentioned it since, I don't think.
Wasn't that about the same time as the OGL crisis?
A lot of other stuff was going on at the time.
Before, that was end of 23, wasn't it? Beginning 24.
Yeah. Goodness.
So anyway, that's the basic list of the primary magazines.
Yeah.
As I say, there's probably more of them than most people think, because I immediately think Dragon and Dungeon magazines. I collected those. I'm familiar with those too, and I was aware that Polyhedron existed, but I never actually bought one.
Yep.
So this is Dungeon magazine, as you can see. 150 odd issues, lots and lots and lots of cool adventures in there.
Yeah, one where you can go get your nails did, by the look of it.
Yeah. That's exactly what that is.
And that might be a Lord Soft reference on the front. There's somebody who looks like a knight holding a black rose. Yeah,
possibly. As you can see, Dungeon magazine changed in style over the years. So that was earlier, and then it became a lot more sort of modern, glossy magazine format later in its lifetime.
Yeah.
It was great though. I mean, just like 4 or 5 adventures every month, just delivered. Actually, I think it was every 2 months. I can't remember, but delivered to your door.
Yeah,
you'd have a subscription. It'd be mailed to you, delivered to your door. It was
like Insider magazine that we do.
Well, yeah. Well, we don't do 4 or 5 adventures a month though.
No, there's 4 or 5 articles in the magazine, but yeah.
Yeah, one of them will be an adventure. So 1 adventure a month. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess the thing is finding the old, just getting it in front of people, because I know my exposure to this sort of thing was coming across like random White Dwarfs or Games Workshops, which never seen any of those others like in reality. I've only seen them, only seen pictures.
Well, Dragon and Dungeon were in places like W.H. Smith.
Right.
That's where I used to see them. And White Dwarf were there as well.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it must have been.
The rest of them, no. The rest of them, I've literally never seen any of the other ones in person at all.
Yeah.
So, let's have a look at Dungeon Adventures by edition. This is how many adventures Dungeon put out in total. And as you can see, quite a lot of adventures.
Yeah.
It ended in the 3E era, so obviously there won't be any sort of 5th edition adventures there. But, you can see by far 2E was the most prevalent, with nearly 250 adventures.
It's as many as first and third edition had altogether, I think.
I think if you add all of the other 3 together, do you get probably
close to
about the same as 2E?
It looks like 2E probably would have had a few more.
Yeah, more than everything else combined. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you look at Dungeons and Adventures by setting, this is the setting that they were all in. So as you can see, the most common setting was, surprise, surprise, the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah. Then Greyhawk.
By Greyhawk, yeah.
I mean, Greyhawk is not that far behind. They're the 2 that stand out, highest above the rest by a good country mile, as we may say.
It's different to the graphs we looked at last week, which showed the number of products per setting, where Greyhawk was a lot lower in that.
I mean, Greyhawk was similar to Dragonlance and Ravenloft in those ones, but not the case here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see poor Road's Birthright,
Council of Worms.
Yeah. Had almost
and Planescape, bizarrely. I thought Planescape would have had more adventures.
I thought there'd have been more.
Yeah. Just based on what I've heard about. Yeah.
So Eberron,
Eberron is quite late in the day, to be fair, relatively speaking, because that's obviously, Baker's work and was a result of competition, pretty much most of the way through. So I think it's quite well considering. It's these other ones, like Dark Sun. Yeah. I've heard of a lot of these.
Yeah. Well, there's a great podcast you can listen to. It went out last week, and you can listen to us talking about these settings in great detail.
I should look forward to it.
Or you can watch a YouTube video, of which 10,000 other people have watched, which is
okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Right. So, Dragon Magazine. I wanted to just mention the covers of Dragon Magazine because it has featured some of the most iconic art pieces in all of D&D. And I remember each of these covers specifically, which is why I picked these. But out of the sort of 250 odd issues, your favourite cover, I'm sure, isn't necessarily the same as mine, but everyone will have their favourite covers. But there was a lot of really, really iconic, memorable, especially that one on the top left there, which is like a woman with a bow being attacked by a giant skeleton with an axe. I remember that one so well.
Exploding out of ice, it looks like.
Yeah, exploding out of ice, yeah. And that one on the bottom right as well, which has sort of some kind of knight.
Riding lizards.
Riding.
In a polar wasteland.
Dragon, I think that is, from behind, yeah.
That's wings.
That one looks a bit Star Wars to me, in a weird way. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
Feels like,
Yeah, it's got the old weird fiction vibes. And there was not this insistence on a sharp divide between science fiction and fantasy. Which this would be, depending upon exactly when, but would be about the right sort of age for. It's fascinating stuff. It's why people keep on trying to make psionics a thing, which is now traditionally regarded as very much part of science fiction canon, and why some people think it's got no place. Whereas I'm like, well, psionics. Yeah, it's all part of that common shared DNA.
Psionics is one of those divisive things. You love it in your fantasy or you hate it in your fantasy,
Yeah. But it's in raw still, which is why it's top of my mind right now. We got to dig into the Advanced 5th Edition Voidrun's Codex when that pops through my door at some point and have a good look at it.
Well, that will be soon, Peter, because the Voidrun's Codex box sets are arriving at the UK warehouse on Tuesday. So they are imminent.
That's
what will happen is you will open it up, and the very first thing you will spot is a typo, because that's how it works. That's how publishing works.
Yes.
Even if there's only one typo in the entire 1,000 pages, the very first thing that you see when you open it up and cast your eye upon a random page will be the typo.
Yeah, because
I personally am looking forward to opening the VOIDSEA Codex
on the cover. Oh man!
I think
I
apologise. I apologise for giving you anxiety. I'm sure
You would actually see me crying if that happened.
Well, it's not on the front of the box set because I'm looking at the final print version right now, which is there. And
yes, but you have dyslexia, so how do you know?
Oh my gosh, that's so true. Why did I proofread anything?
Problematic. Yeah.
No, I don't do a lot of the proofreading for that reason because I don't spot typing errors because I'm like, well, words are weird, so
yeah. Bizarre stuff.
No.
Oh, quite interestingly, you've also had a fighter jet with a dragon in its sights. That was quite cool.
Yeah. There was a lot of weird sort of genre mashup crossover stuff going on as well.
Yes.
Lots of it. So this is a look at Dragon Magazine over the years and how basically the graphic design changed over the years.
Yes.
So I basically looked at a page which had every single issue's cover, and I just kind of went through it and said, okay, this one kind of represents this era, this one represents this era. So I kind of picked out 5 covers there, going from the very first one to a fairly late stage one, and you can totally see how like the magazine, the first one just looks like it was made by someone with some crayons, to be honest.
I mean, to be fair, like at the time, getting that sort of thing done was actually a fairly impressive technical achievement. Like clip art when it first came out, people were like really impressed and thought it was great. And nowadays, of course, you look at clip art, you say, "Oh dear, someone's found the clip art section, have they? Awkward." But at the time, nobody could do that. Like the best you could hope for was vaguely put out. Like that second cover where they've put a box around a picture and they've got a slightly offset diagonal of bullet points along with the title of the magazine. Like that was pretty state of the art at the time. Yeah.
And then when you go, you go through them, and you can see that kind of becoming more and more like the sort of thing that you currently see, like on a stand in a newsagent today. Well, if magazines still existed today, which they barely do, but
and you can start seeing the existence of barcodes, which is pretty exciting, and a full art cover, and then the following the font changing from Dragon to Dragon Underlined magazine.
Yeah, we see the logo changing over the years. Yeah.
It's like from a graphic design, I think it's really interesting. So thank you for sharing that. That's
I think it's
pretty exciting.
Yeah. So the next graph that we have goes through each of these magazines and shows how many issues each magazine published. So here we go. We can see that Dragon was by far the most popular with like high 300s.
I think that's the best known one as well. So sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it went for the longest. It was a monthly magazine. It went for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Dungeon Magazine comes in second there. With about 150. Closely matched by Polyhedron actually. Polyhedron. With a similar number.
Mid 150s sort of thing. Yeah. Look nice. It's such an impressive achievement, honestly, because like people are like, oh, it's not still going, it's rubbish. But well, it existed. That's over a year.
Well, it did transition
for 10 years. Yeah.
Well, it did transition. Well, Dragon transitioned to an online magazine for a number of years before eventually fading away.
Is that D&D Insider sort of thing?
D&D Insider was a different one.
Right.
Okay. So Dragon, then there was Dragon Plus, I think it was called for a while. Do you remember that one? That went for about 2 or 3 years, I think. That wasn't that long ago. I think that ended about 4 or 5 years ago, I think. But that one tended to be more. I didn't feel like Dragon Magazine. It felt more like it was just previews and marketing.
Right.
Content.
With you, yeah.
There's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've done over 12 issues, that's over a full calendar year of like output, which is hard. Well done. Absolutely wild accomplishment. Anything over 36, that's over 3 years worth of stuff. That's an incredible length of time to get all that stuff out there. It's like wild. And I'm seeing a lot of these have done like, over 50, which is, a a blinded
Game Pass
achievement.
Gazette, our magazine for Level Up, is on issue 45 now, I think. Was it 44 that went out this week? 44 or 45. So we're starting, on this graph, we would be probably catching up on those
DI
Adventurer, DI Dragon and DDI Dungeon ones there.
Yeah. Already overtaken the Strategic Review, Imagine, Legends of the Lance, Polyhedron, Living Grey Hawk Journal.
Oh yeah, left all of those in the dust.
Yeah. Dragon Plus you've left behind. Yeah. So
that's
it's good going. It's good going.
And give it another year, we will be basically the 4th after Dragon, Dungeon and Polyhedron.
Yeah.
Then it'll be our magazine. It's
Well,
kind of cool.
Yeah, like I say, it's an incredible achievement. Really well done. And 45 means it's probably about another 3 months for 48, which would be 4 years.
Yeah, wow.
God damn.
Yeah. So now we've got a quick look at the price of Dragon Magazine.
Wow.
Over the years, going from 1970, whatever, 6, whatever it was, up until I think it's 2007.
This is cover price though, right?
Correct.
And it's not adjusted for inflation.
It is not.
No.
Because this could just be inflation, surely.
I mean,
yeah, that could be a graph of inflation, but yeah, this is the actual cover price of Dragon Magazine.
I'd be interested to overlay that with inflation, just to see.
To do a price adjusted one, so we can see how much it changed. You know what? I'm prepared to put fairly good money that actually the price per unit stayed relatively similar.
Possibly.
Tell
you what is interesting: price per page. Because Dragon Magazine, although it went up in price, cover price, it also went up in size. And look at this graph, which shows you the price per page.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, wow. Goodness.
So for a long time, it went down.
Yeah.
It basically, what we're looking at is a very shallow U kind of bowl-shaped graph, which is slightly higher at the right-hand end. But basically, from the start, it went down for years.
Yeah.
Before starting to climb around sort of like the mid-90s.
Yeah, like it's almost a cost of the rising cover price reflected increased materials cost almost.
Possibly,
yeah. I mean, it's just the nature of this industry, really. Like the people who are working for it are so passionate that they're prepared to accept far below market rates in order to be part of it.
So Rai vs. the World says, I transferred my Dungeon and Dragon magazine credits to a Pathfinder magazine sub, and there you stumble across the secret source of Pathfinder, that sort of because they produced Dragon and Dungeon magazine for Wizards of the Coast for many years. And when Wizards of the Coast decided to pull Dragon and Dungeon magazine back, Paizo kept that massive subscription base and offered to everyone saying, like, Dragon and Dungeon won't be around anymore, but we're making something called Pathfinder. Would you like to just transfer your subscription over to that? And most of the people just went, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Give that
we
a
like
go.
Magazines.
And so Pathfinder just starts off with this massive subscribing base, which it didn't. It's incredible.
Hard to imagine that sort of thing happening nowadays.
Well, yeah, nobody else can do that. Nobody else could possibly have done that.
Just a perfect storm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a look at magazines anyway.
That's interesting. We love the data. Good to see more. And we're getting another one next week, are we?
Next week apparently is novels.
Wow. I will
novels over the years.
Excellent.
I will not be here, but PJ will be. So thankfully, I think that's the right person to discuss that.
Oh no, this podcast is taking a rapid downhill turn from Russ's point of view. Next, we won't be doing Morris's official tabletop RPG talk. We'll be doing PJ talks enthusiastically about books in incoherent fashion.
PJ's
while Russ has a snooze.
Yeah, which you'll be pleased to hear does meet in publishing naming guidelines.
It does, yeah. That's true.
We're literally trying to come up with the name of a card game at the moment.
Yes,
Oh,
this one, which I won't show you, but these are the backs of it we've been play testing. Oh, how exciting! Sleeved cards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've come up with a snappy title. It's
sleeves.
card game in which you place cards upon the table and sometimes take them from the deck.
And so they go from your hand.
Title.
They go from your hand to the table, and sometimes from your hand to a discard pile.
Sometimes from your discard pile table to your hand.
Yeah. Well, actually, quite often. Anyway,
and that's the rules of the game, by the way.
And that's the title of the game.
Now you know the name of the game and the rules of the game. There we go.
I think you should call it something like Minchkun or something like that.
Minchkun?
Minchkun, yeah. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
I don't say you should call it Munchkin. That would be completely confusing for people.
And probably illegal, so.
Only if you copied their trade dress exactly. So
you know what?
I just enjoy being sued.
I don't want beef with Steve Jackson games.
That's fair. Yeah. They got that Munchkin money.
They got that Munchkin money, yeah. Anyway, what else is happening in the news this week?
We've got some Critical Role stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
So there's a new trailer for Critical Role Campaign 4. And also the second episode's gone out now, but the first episode, which just you failed to watch previously, but have now watched. Despite promising our loyal listeners that you would watch and talk about the first episode of Critical Role Season 4, unfortunately you arrived at the show last Friday having failed completely to do so, and they were so disappointed.
You said failed, like, what happened? It's Friday, so it's streamed out Thursday evenings, where in the US, but in the UK time zone it's 3 a.m. Yeah, so it's 3 a.m. And I'm not staying awake at 3 a.m. to watch a 4-hour show because I'm not. And so I got up Friday morning and I was like, I'll watch Critical Role for 4 hours whilst I'm doing some admin and before the show. But it was behind a paywall, and I went to it, and I was having my plan was half asleep with my coffee to sit and start watching it, and it was behind a paywall, and I was just like, no, I'm not doing this, and that's what happened. But after the show, I had a look on Beacon. They do have like a free subscription for X amount of time. I can't remember if it's a week or a month, but I signed up to it, and I have watched episode 1, so I have thoughts, feelings, and things to share because I have watched it. And I will try, and I will do it with a spoiler-free thing. I'll do it. I can do that spoiler-free without giving it. So if you want to watch it and enjoy what happens in the episode, I will tell you things so you can still enjoy it.
So,
but we have just flashed up that there was a funeral in it in the scrolling bar at the bottom.
But that was known in the intro.
Okay.
Yeah. So each episode is 4 hours long.
Yeah, it's a gaming session, so it's 4 hours.
Which is about the same length as, say, I don't know, one of the Lord of the Rings extended editions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watch it on like 1.5 speed because you can do that on the videos and things like that. So it takes me a little bit less time. But yeah, it's a good chunk of time. But because this campaign 4 is a completely new world, completely new players, a different GM because Brennan Lee Mulligan's running it. It felt like a good place to jump in because I think I do enjoy Critical Role. Like the people there, they're all actors. They're telling an interesting story. It's an enjoyable thing to watch. But I think you benefit more if you've been on that entire journey. And the idea of jumping back and for other campaigns was too much for me. But because it's a new one starting, I was like, I can jump in here. I don't have to worry about catching up on any lore. It's all here. And it's quite an interesting setting. So, but yeah, Russ, did you want to share the news that you have this week, or should I just jump in and?
Well, the news is basically there's a new trailer, which you can watch, and we'll put a link in the show notes to that. That was basically the news.
Okay.
So if you want to just talk about the actual episode.
Yeah. So I've seen episode 1. I haven't seen episode 2, which just come out last night in US time. I haven't watched it yet again because time zones. I probably will watch it. I enjoyed doing that. So episode 1 was they have a cast of 12 players, and they managed to find a really good way to introduce all of them in a way that didn't feel overwhelming and it felt very natural. So there were people coming in and out of scenes and different moments, and the way the scenes were done as well, you had different combinations of characters, which was really nice because you got to see different connections between different characters, how they relate in different scenarios. And not all of the characters have positive feelings towards each other as well, which is interesting. You can see it's leaning towards where they're going to need to work together to do a thing. But there's going to be some tensions and issues there. And they were able to introduce that without being a lore dump by just introducing you to the characters. Wow. Really interesting match of characters. Everyone's quite creative in what they've made in terms of like personalities and things like that. So it was really fun to watch. The opening is a funeral of the character, which you see in the right hand side, which is the reason why everyone's there. And I do think funerals are a good. I've had that to an intro of a campaign before because like, you all have a reason to be there. You all have a common link to the deceased in some way, and also it gives you a reason to all be in a space, and it means people are less likely to kick off and start a fight or do certain things because you're at a funeral. You're like, well, we'll put this aside for now out of respect for, so it gives you a good reason to do that. They also brought some nice cultural elements from the world in. So they're like, the world that we're in, this is what a funeral looks like. This is how they honor the dead. This is what they do. And so I think it was really well done. I think well done to Brennan because that was hard work because he was up there for, running for 4 hours, had multiple cast members coming in and out of scenes, and it all worked. It flowed and it felt watching quite organic. Obviously, a lot of work would have happened behind the scenes to set things up. But yeah, I think it's really enjoyable. After watching the episode, I know who all the characters are. I understand how they're related to the main thing that is starting to brew up, and I can see a rough direction of where I think it's going to go. So it's making sense. And that's my spoiler-free commentary.
Will you be continuing to watch?
I think I will. I've got a free subscription for a bit, so I'm definitely going to watch that. But maybe I'll continue it. I don't know. I generally, with my streaming services, I have one that I pay for, my partner pays for another, and then we have a third that we kind of rotate in on free services depending on what we want to watch. So this could rotate in as my third service that we have for a while.
Yeah. Is that something your partner would be interested in watching as well?
No.
I mean, like lovely chat, but it just did not seem like maybe it would be his thing. Yeah.
No, he's not a tabletop role player. He's played a few one-shots and got involved with my friends are doing things, but it's not his hobby. And I think we've all got friends and family like that. They're like, yeah, sure, we'll sit down and we'll play a game occasionally, but they're not as into it as we are here, perhaps on the people that have a podcast talking about tabletop role-playing games.
Won't even go that far.
No.
Yeah.
No,
well, there we go.
Not interested in the slightest.
Well, there we are. But yeah, so I think if you're interested in Critical Role, this is a really good place to jump in and see if it's your thing. In the intro, they made a little joke about the fact they're not using Dagger Heart as well, because I know some people said that. So they made a little joke beforehand, because they do like before the show starts, like the cast are talking, and they kind of did a bit of that there. So that was kind of fun. So they're very clued into what their audience are saying. But yeah, I think I'm gonna keep watching it a bit, and I think if you like watching actual plays and you've been interested in Critical Role, it's good to jump in. And I think it's a bit overwhelming because there's lots of cast members coming in and out, but eventually they're going to separate into 3, so it'll feel less. Ugh.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm really just interested in how they would deal with exploration and what they're going to do with that. Like where they're going to handle it. That sounds like the sort of thing I would be.
Well, from what I've heard, the intent is the 13 players
are split into groups of 4 or 5.
Are going to split off like in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And then that's when you're going to get the 3 separate, the exploration focused one, the combat focused one, and the intrigue focused one. Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 1, I don't think would give you any insight into how they're doing exploration, because it was kind of all based in one location at the funeral.
It's a big sort of social thing.
Yeah. And because they were introducing 12 characters, and also the characters had flashbacks as well, so you got a bit of insight into relationships between the characters and stuff as well. So it wasn't I don't think this episode would have given you any insight into the exploration if that's what you're looking at it for.
Yeah, no.
But episode
I
one
wouldn't
would be
have
useful to get the setup.
who these
So,
people are. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right, so the next bit of news on the menu, on the agenda, a little bit of Star Trek.
We love a bit of Star Trek.
Oh,
I love
good.
Star Trek Adventures.
So
What
this is
an
obviously
interesting
coming
book.
from Modifius.
Hmm.
This is the 23rd Century Campaign Guide.
Yeah.
It's a pre-order. So you can pre-order it now for 35 of your Great British Pounds,
Hmm.
or whatever that works out to in other currencies. I'm sure you can work that out. You have a Google.
Yeah.
This is the foundation of kind of the Federation. It's the early part of the Federation. Sort of Klingon War, and kind of leading up into the sort of original series 5-year mission period. That's what it does.
I mean, it's sufficiently good that I can recognise Kirk, Spock, and Uhura, and opposite we've got Pike, I want to say Michael, and the alien vegetarian doctor guy whose name I
When
can't
you say
remember.
Pike, what you mean is we've got Pike's hair, Pike's magnificent hair,
Yes. With a Starship Captain, isn't he?
which gets bigger every single season.
You know what? Good for them.
Yeah. You got the them tribbles. Yeah.
Uhura's got big
I
hair
just
as well.
wonder why
so-
how a Starship Captain has time.
They live in space. He must have a tool. Like, I have a Dyson
There's a
Airwrap
space-
in this
space
day and
hair
age.
tool.
They must have
Yeah, maybe.
something. Like a helmet you
Maybe.
put on and it goes roof and just... If
It
that doesn't
seems
exist
simple,
in the
isn't it?
future, what are we doing? Why are we investing in tech if we can't have the
Just-
hair that we want?
Pops down to Transporter Bay, gets the pattern that's preloaded in with his hair.
3D
Blam.
print.
Yeah, exactly.
3D
This
prints
one.
hair follicles as
So
well. So if you have any thinning.
I'm doing a Star Trek for Halloween this year.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
I clearly do not have as magnificent a head of hair as Anson Mount, so I can't do Captain Pike's hair, unfortunately.
Get yourself a wig.
Well, good, but that would just,
Or more hairspray.
yeah,
You need some volumizer for certain.
yeah.
It's doable, Russ. It's
But I'm going
doable.
for a Captain Kirk instead. That's an easier hairstyle to do, much
mean,
easier
yeah.
than a Pike.
No.
So that's what I'm doing for Halloween this year.
Yeah, I mean, with a pudding bowl and some straight now, you could probably do Spock.
Yeah, I could do possibly. I don't want to cut my hair like that, though.
Why not?
That's
It
fine.
looks so chic. It's very Beatles.
The other thing, because I'd like to try and get my Halloween costumes as accurate as possible, so I've got to do the pointy sideburns, which everyone in the original series, Star Trek original series, had. They had these pointy,
Okay.
slightly forward pointed sideburns.
Right.
But I don't want to walk around with pointy sideburns. So
Well,
what I'm
surely-
basically going to have to do is just not
beard.
shave for a few days before
Itchy.
Halloween. Then that night, just before we go out, shave then to give yourself the pointy sideburns. Go out with the pointy sideburns, and then when I get home that night, well, probably not. 'Cause
Shave
I've probably
again.
imbibed an awful lot of alcohol, probably wielding a razor.
The
would be a
next
bad idea.
morning.
Maybe the next day, I can then shave them off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
know
works.
Russ's
Have
views
to go
on
in public.
mornings, which is that they're not for him.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
they're not
No.
for me either. They're not. It's not a good time.
I don't like a morning. In fact,
No.
I refuse to believe they exist.
Mm.
I have yet to
Yeah.
see evidence that mornings exist.
Exactly. All right. Well, Star Trek Adventures 23rd Century Campaign Guide. Nice.
Yes. Yeah, that looks really. That's my favourite period of Star Trek as well. That's why I picked
I've-
that up. Just as even if I don't get to play with it, just to read and browse.
Collectors. I mean, I've not played Star Trek Adventures, but friends of mine had a campaign and they loved it. And it's
That's good. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, you know, it's
Yeah,
an
it's a good
established setting, which is normally a big strike against it. But I'm like, no, I had a good time. It's a Roland system. Yeah. Like,
I think the world
fun.
of Star Trek is big enough that you can carve out your own space of the universe and do your own thing with it because
Hmm.
space is infinite and anyway.
Okay, right, fine. We've got a couple of Kickstarters to mention.
ooh,
couple of those Kickstarters. One is a potential $1 million Kickstarter.
Ooh.
So this one is called VOIDSEA.
Right.
They describe
Some
it
nice
as
cover
I love
art.
that. Yeah, a pirate, grimdark, salted, eldritch infested expansion for 5e.
Well, there you go. All good things. And coming out around October as well, when people may be looking for such squamous entities. Ideal.
Scaly.
Yeah. Well, this is currently trending towards. It has done. Let's have a look. It has currently done $776,000 with 19 days to go.
Wow.
Backer Kick says it's trending towards 1.3 million, so it's going to probably going to join the Kickstarter $1 million club.
Mm.
Well, that's made someone's day. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is from a new Kickstarter creator, but it is a joint project from Loot Tavern, which has a number of really, really big Kickstarters, and also Archvillain Games and Titan Forge. So there's some experience behind there, and they've kind of joined together and created this account called VOIDSEA. So
I do like the ship with teeth.
Oh, I just noticed that. Oh.
Oh yeah. Are they just painted on, or has it actually got teeth? I don't know. Is that like painted on, like, planes, like World War II planes had?
I think it looks like a mouth. It looks like a model that someone's like made and put onto it.
Maybe it's a giant mimic.
Titan Forge.
It does look more like a giant
mimic.
mimic. Ugh, it's the character and just like.
Yeah. And then they've got like a coral monstrosity behind them, and then behind that we've got sort of a hooded, I guess, quite femme figure with a stained glass set of wings is the best way I describe it.
Yeah, just like butterfly wings, sort of.
Yeah, there's clearly interesting creatures from the deep there.
Yeah. It's got vibes.
It does.
It has got vibes. Yeah. But it's going to make $1 million, so
that makes sense. I mean,
lots of people like the look of this thing.
Sure, it makes sense.
Is it selling minis as well, by chance, or SDLs?
I expect so. Do you want me to have a quick look? I'd be amazed.
I mean, with Loot Tavern and Titan Forge, I imagine they have all sorts of lovely extra gubbins that go with it alongside the book.
Tons of stuff, tons of minis and cards, and handouts, and loads of screens, dice, the lot, everything you can think of. They've got weird coins like VOIDSEA Captain's coins.
Coins
Johnny
are always
Roger
nice
flags in different colours, tankards.
Wow.
I'd hate to be doing the logistics for this campaign.
Yeah.
Coordinating all that stuff.
It's 1.3 million, but what's the profit margin?
I imagine they'll have a reasonable profit margin on that volume. I'm sure they'll do fine. But anytime at EM Publishing someone says we could do these cool add-ons, me as the logistics person that knows I'm going to have to arrange and organise and do this, I'm just like, ugh.
Also, all of that stuff, unless you're making it in the US, is going to be hit by tariffs. Big tariffs. All those tankards, all those dice,
most likely.
All that stuff is.
You're feeling this because we got our tariff fee just the other week for all the Void Runner stuff in America. So
we had to pay that. Yeah.
But it's done now.
We have paid those tariffs, and they are on the way to our US warehouse.
No.
Well, not currently. They're sat at customs still. I'm waiting for.
They're about to be on their way to the US warehouse. They're in the US at least.
They're in America. They're just at customs, and we've given them money and all the paperwork, and customs are going, still staring at it in case they are mimics. So they're just,
Have we shipped any mimics?
I'm not gonna legally say anything.
You can neither confirm or deny that we have shipped some mimics.
No, I don't know.
I mean, postal regulations forbid shipping the mix and other live. Like, I think it's due to that time people started shipping goblins everywhere. That was a real problem. Like, and the RSPCG had to get involved several times.
Anyway, finally, last Kickstarter to quickly mention is Starfinder Afterlight has launched.
Oh,
we mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Yeah,
So
we
I
did,
can't
yeah.
remember when but it has launched. It's done. I've got
Over
£350,000.
350 million. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Yeah, I
And
actually
it's not-
backed this one.
Oh, really?
It's not
Yeah.
trending towards 1 million, but it's going to be close.
Yeah.
think.
I mean,
but this is.
I mean,
you
I
backed it, did you say?
yeah. I mean, this is like it was like €30 or something like that,
Mm.
and I don't know what it was in pounds, but I'm like, I got to, because for me, like I actually do look at the Kickstarters that I back, and in terms of hours of use out of them, computer games have been by far and away my most sort of successful, best value for money.
There's less chance of a computer
Kickstarters.
game just sitting on the shelf.
Oh yeah,
unplayed.
yeah.
You haven't seen my Steam library. No,
but
a lot of games are sat on a digital shelf gathering dust. Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Shadowrun games, by Catalyst Game Labs, and Wasteland 2, and I actually have used and played those games. And there's a couple I haven't played, but yeah. And this one looks very much like the Shadowrun games in terms of playability. I'm like, it's science fiction, it's Starfinder. I am almost certainly going to have a good time.
Cool.
I'm going to have difficulty not having a good time if I get a chance to play
I'm looking
this.
at some of the videos they've got on the Kickstarter page at the moment, and apart from the bits where they stop and it flashes up and the screen's taken over by dialogue, which I hate.
Yeah,
I always shut down when it's like choose one of these options for dialogue, and don't like.
Yeah.
But other than that, especially what I don't find odd about this is the dialogue bits are in a totally different art style to the actual game. The actual game has a sort of pseudo cyberpunk realism look to it, whereas the dialogue bits, you get a very cartoony, comic booky picture of the character pops up.
Yeah. Flipping Nora, there is a game which is about this redhead woman singing with a massive sword. I can't remember what it's called, but it very much has that like sort of art style as well. Right. Yeah, I can't remember the name, so absolutely useless. Well done. 0, no points. But yeah, beautiful art style. And I don't mind the cartoon style of things popping up. It gives it that sort of pleasant jankiness, which I actually quite like. Like, I don't necessarily want a AAA game where you've got like some pixel perfect 1 million polygon like white guy committing war crimes all over the place. I just want something that's a bit more escapist. So this looks like it's going to be great for me. If you want something else, then I don't know, don't back this. But I saw this, I was like, yeah, this looks like my jam. I'm going to back it.
People can like more than one thing. I mean, no, I'm probably going to.
I don't think that's true.
If it's on.
I mean, I like Baldur's Gate 3.
Therefore, you like nothing else.
So I can't play Starfinder Afterlight. That's the rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
If this works on a Mac, of course, I don't know if it does or not. I have to look into that. If it works on a Mac, I will probably back it.
There we go.
No.
And there we go. That's it. We're done for the news for the week.
Amazing.
As always, we were live recording this week, and if you want to join us for the live recording, you can do every Friday on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube at 2 p.m. UK time, which is 9 a.m. Eastern time.
Yes. At least for now. At some point, October will hit. Wait, this is October. We're going to switch over.
October.
Oh,
it's usually around Halloween,
go back to
isn't
GNT.
It's
I
around
don't
Halloween,
know.
isn't it? Usually
It's on a Sunday.
Well, that's why I
no.
say 2 p.m. UK time.
That's why. That's why.
It's my little cheat.
Hacks.
It's your little cheat, but I wrote that.
Yes, you did. I wasn't trying to take it from you.
Cheat. You're stealing my little cheat.
It's the people's cheat now, Morrissey. Yoink it away!
Okay. Shall we leave?
Yes, let's go and have a weekend.
All right.
Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back. You're not here next week, Jess, is that correct?
I'm not.
You're not.
Are you off LARPing?
No, I'm in Italy drinking wine.
Damn.
Yeah.
Can we swap? Can you be here and I'll go to Italy?
I've arranged 3 separate vineyard tours in one weekend. I'm going to have a great time. But you're not invited. Sorry, you have to stay and do a podcast.
I don't want it. I prefer to go to Italy than to do a podcast. One sounds
You don't really
fun,
like
the other
wine
one
that
sounds
much.
like work. No, but I can
The
be in
entire
Italy.
time-
If you found a decently priced Moscato, I'll have one. But Moscato, it's important.
Okay, we'll
Acceptance.
we'll have a look out.
Yes.
All right, let's get out of here, shall we?
Okay, bye bye.
See you next
Laters.
week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All the tabletop role-playing news. We aim to amuse and we aim to enthuse. And Morrus is unofficial tabletop RPG.